even if intended for evangelism, that can harm the church reputation and witness should be avoided at all costs. A good example is what happened after the Joshua generation with a post that sparked a lot of reaction. That we should be very careful with what we post, even if intention for evangelism. Number 2, respect for privacy and consent. That as communicators, we must always obtain permission before sharing photos, videos, testimonies that involve individuals, especially minors. There are laws backing this up, and if you don't take permission, you can be sued. And we pray that no one goes to jail for ignorance or for being stupid. So we should be very careful. We are to respect the dignity and confidentiality of people's personal stories. 3, content that reflects Christian values. Sensational, divisive, rhetoric, or content that promotes fear or hate should be avoided at all costs. Our message should promote peace, love, grace, and truth in all the messages we pass on. Number 4, responsible use of social media. Responsible use of social media. Church leaders and members should use personal and official social media accounts with discernment. In other words, we must know what to post and not what to post. Be very careful. We should avoid online arguments or posts that contradict the teachings of Christ. People agree that it is better that communicators are allowed to be the one to be in charge of media platforms for dioceses, churches, or Anglican, because these communicators are being trained, and so they will be able to discern what is good and what is not good to be posted on our platforms. 5, avoiding commercial exploitation. Avoiding commercial exploitation. Be cautious of turning church media platform into profit-driven spaces. If donations or promotions are involved, transparency and accountability are vital. And we have a good example in our father in this diocese. This is what he told us this morning, that what they are doing here is accountability. People know what comes in and they know how it's being spent. So, as church, if you are using our platform to generate money and funds, there should be accountability and transparency. Cultural sensitivity and inclusiveness. Church media should reflect the diversity of the body of Christ and avoid stereotypes or offensive content. We should be mindful of language, imagery, and tone we use so that we don't spark reactions that can lead to crisis in the church. And lastly, 7, stewardship and technical excellence. Ethical media is not only moral but also well presented. We should use media tools wisely and strive for quality without extravagance. We'll be mentioning this quality stuff. We should invest in training media teams to refer professionalism and responsibility. So we should spend money to train ourselves. Thank God for this conference. It's a good example of training media teams to know what to do and to refer professionalism and responsibility. In closing, we must remember that church media is not just a tool. It is a reflection of our faith. Whether we are sharing a sermon, a social media post, or testimony, our aim should always be to honor God, uphold truth, and edify others. We pray that as we go forward with a renewed commitment to using media ethically, creatively, and responsibly in the service of the gospel. Thank you so much, sirs.
Thank you, sir. Group 4. Please let's submit our reports to Group 3. This is your report.
All right.
Group 4.
This is the protocol. Group 4, we discussed on the topic diocesan communicators and stage building. We tried to look at the definition communicator. Communicator is an individual responsible for coordinating and passing information, promoting understanding and fostering relationship between the diocese and its stakeholders. Communicators play and cooperation among individuals or groups to achieve a common goal or objective. Synergy in communication. Synergy in communication refers to the collective impact of communication. Synergy in communication refers to the collective impact of individual communicators working together to achieve a common communication goal by pooling their resources, their experiences, their ideas. Communicators can create a more significant impact than they have achieved individually. So we looked at advantage of synergy among communicators. And so we highlighted several advantages of synergy among communicators, including enhanced collaboration. So synergy building fosters collaboration, mutual support, and connective problem solving among communicators. 2. Improved communication. Synergy ensures consistent and accurate messaging, reducing misunderstanding and miscommunication. 3. Increased impact. By working together, communicators can amplify their message, their information, reach a broader audience, and make a more significant impact. 4. Shared resources. Synergy building allows communicators to share resources, experiences, and best practices, reducing duplication of effort and increasing effectiveness. Then we also discussed several strategies for synergy building among diocesan communicators, which include 1. Regular meetings. We discussed that scheduling regular meetings for communicators to share updates, discuss challenges and plan, collaborate and plan. We help. Then 2, we also looked at communication platform, that we should create a platform where all the communicators will have a platform to discuss and to share experiences and also have their online meetings. Then 3, training and capacity building. We now say provide training and capacity building opportunities to enhance the skills and knowledge of communicators. 4, joint projects. Collaborate on joint projects such as social media campaign or community outreach initiative and other experiences that can happen by coming together. Then we looked at barriers and hindrances to synergies. 1, lack of communication. Poor communication can hinder synergy building and can lead to misunderstanding and miscommunication. 2, competition. Competition among communicators can create barriers to collaboration and synergy building. 3, limited resources. Limited resources, including time, money, and expertise, can hinder synergy building and collaboration. 4 is different priorities. Different priorities among communicators can create challenges for synergy building and collaboration. Then we have here call for action. 1, establishing regular meetings, as we said earlier. Schedule regular meetings to share updates discuss challenges and plans. And 2, to have shared communication platforms. 3, providing training and capacity building. And 4, collaborating on joint projects also. Then in conclusion, we recommended that we should, as communicators, have provincial and diocesan conferences, that will strengthen the relevance of communicators in our various dioceses and provinces. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's appreciate all our rapporteurs. Thank you very much. Okay. Any question, contributions, or these feedbacks? Okay, 1. Who else? Feedbacks and contributions to the reports? 2, 3.
All right, thank you, sir. Group 4. Some of the things we discussed were not captured. One was what I raised.
Okay.
So I raised the issue of synergy. I raised the idea that instead of just having the national head alone, that we can have provincial heads, so that if we say we should collaborate. For instance, the diocese on the Niger and diocese of Ife, we are so far apart that it will be difficult for us to really collaborate. Like if you say diocese of Ilesa and diocese of Ife, so I was like, we have provincial heads. So among the province, we are close to each other. We can easily work together in each of the provinces. So the national head will be like the head on all of the things. So I feel that would help us more in collaboration.
Thank you, sir. Having provisional heads, having 2. Number 2, I think at the back.
Thank you very much, Jim. I noticed that the group, think that the second group, now the blue. About 2 or 3 of the reports, there is something mentioned I think we should look at. He said when someone uses another person's image without permission, that it seems as if I'm trying to use the word. The person is stupid. Okay, that is try to. I don't have the report. I just maybe reference to it.
I'm sure that statement is not in the report. Is it there?
He said the person is not lawful or not having knowledge that using image, I'm paraphrasing now, that is not lawful, that it could lead to, going to jail. But now saying it's not somebody who is stupid when it's not aware of the law. I don't think so. So sometimes not having knowledge of the law, not necessarily being stupid, also using somebody's image. That was stupid, I'm not okay with it. Let me check that out, please.
That's group 2 or no, group 3. Group 3. We don't have the report yet.
We are refining it.
Okay. So they are working on it. Thank you, sir. That's it. Okay, that's the point you want to raise. You wanted to say something, sir? Yes, sir.
Thank you. Please, based on Group 4, the service synergy, I also suggested that in order to help other dioceses that are not really strong or try to come up in media, can the ACNN create a team? It mustn't be from the crew, but a team in the Church of Nigeria as a team where if a diocese needs help, like technical advice or counsel or how do we start, because you have a lot in your head, calling you to get such ideas will be really demanding. But if this team are there, you can say, okay, for example, Soka Diocese want to set up this, please, we need their advice. So that team will be the one to advise them. Or if the team see a wrong image or something that is not meeting up demand, this team will reach out to social diocese and say, we have been observing you for this time, and we see that your output is not encouraging. What is the challenge? How do we advise and how do we come in? I think with that, the policing our daddy was talking about yesterday can gradually start coming in, but not like to police them, to punish them or judge them, but to be a helping hand of what kind of things to do, because advice and ideas are powerful and it can really change a lot. Thank you.
Any other points? Okay. I think having provincial head, I'm not sure GSSA can help us with that. To have provincial head for communicators. I think those are matters of church structures that can be handled provincially. But let me allow GS to respond to that.
Thank you, Communicator of Church of Nigeria. There's nothing wrong in the provinces having their coordinators, but all of this thing is with the archbishops. So what we are suggesting, maybe, perhaps if you like, you include it in your communique, suggest to them that they need also someone to coordinate this arm of the church from the province, then it will be possible. It's not so difficult. That makes even the work easier for the man at the headquarters to reach out to them, and then it keeps flowing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So please, the communicate team, let's have that in our recommendation for this conference. Use of content without permission. I think I made mention of that yesterday. That even the ACNN, as a national TV, has that problem. That people copy content from ACNN. Intentionally, we block the ACNN logo and rebroadcast it. I think it's just for me that people are not exposed, and we live in a country whereby laws are not in place. If not, ACNN would have earned a lot of money by now. Last year at Nike, when bishops were being consecrated, some people came around, and because I'd already sought the permission of the Primate that we won't allow, because 7 bishops were being consecrated. And just imagine each of the bishops coming with their cameramen, both video and picture. I'm sure you know how rowdy the frontage of the altar will look like. But a lot of people took offense that I didn't allow them to, their diocese to come and work. And what is there? Why can't you just pick the feed from ACNN and what? And rebroadcast and copy and credit ACNN? And it's a big challenge that we should try to stop. We should try and stop it. In fact, I can remember that before, I personally don't like watermarking image. But I remember the former Bishop of Jos and Archbishop Washi was the one who called me one day and said, people don't appreciate your work in ACNN. Start watermarking it. So that wherever they find it and use it, even if they don't credit, people will see that this is from ACNN. And at times, that has also helped us that because some people see some pictures somewhere and they believe it was ACNN that took it. And then some bishops will call me, that posture of the primate was not proper, why did you put it online like that? And by the time we check, it wasn't from ACNN. So, please, it's important that when we use content that is not ours, we need to credit. I think Mrs. Jennifer made mention of that yesterday when he was talking about content. And as a matter of fact now, in fact, as a church, we are suffering now from copyright. Because all our hymns that we sing in church, YouTube is now flagging it. Facebook is now flagging it. So we should begin to learn some level of keeping our things very much original. So it's important that we note that in our communication so that original content should be more of priority. But when we are using someone's content, let's credit them. I think it's an African mentality because I also still battle down with my staffs to say when you use the content, in fact, you are selling your faith. When you use a story and credit it and say the story was from Channels TV. Because in case you are taking up on that content, you can refer to your source.
Let me give an example of this Facebook flagging of things. Since I am learning how to play violin and I can play a bit, I played a hymn. So it wasn't a recorded anything by anybody, it was me recording myself. I was the one playing the violin, nobody played it for me. No, there was no accompaniment. I played the hymn, posted it. After a while, they flag it down, they say it's not my own. But that's just to stress to us that these things, people are getting serious about it, so we must be careful.
Thank you very much. Let me check. Group 4 also talked about regular meetings. Schedule regular meetings for communicators to share updates, discourse, and challenge. Now, this year we tried our online breakfast meeting. I don't know how many of us attended. The online breakfast meeting we had in March. How many of us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I don't know what we say to that. Should we continue? Yeah. Those who attended, I don't know if I can get 1 or 2 persons. I could get 1 person to give a feedback and why we should continue doing such. Where's the mic?
Okay, my name is Reverend Canon Isaac Thompson in the Director for Media and Diocese. I was privileged to be in that meeting. It was wonderful, especially when our sister was giving her own lecture about how to handle crisis in a media way, and that has helped me. And when I did a step of that program, it was wonderful. Some of my techniques are using those procedures. How you can handle a kind of a clash or information that may scatter the entire church. How you can handle a crisis in a church intentional, it will not escalate. And again, it was handled by the man from the Niger. Yes, I had. It was also made some proof. If you look at that, it was economical. We are the comfort of the room and we had a meeting, seamless meeting. So I will suggest we consider that meeting. Maybe it could be, how maybe quarterly or bi-monthly, sort of. But it's good to continue.
Thank you, sir. Yes. So let's agree, should it be quarterly or quarterly? quarterly. All right. So, and we will be intentional with it. And what I'm looking at is to assign teams that will moderate each of our breakfast sessions. So let's take down these dates tentatively, as I have it here, that our next breakfast meeting should be scheduled for August 23rd. I don't know, let's check our calendar. It's a Saturday morning, I think. Sir? August 23rd. I don't know if Saturday is a good day for us. Sir? Yes. It's a morning stuff, 8 o'clock, and latest by 9:30 we are done. It's not a long. Saturday 23rd. Is that taking? Yes. Saturday 23rd. And the Reverend from Jos, Reverend Joseph, where is he? Okay, he will be the one to moderate our next breakfast session. So, and we're already thinking of the facilitator, and then more details will come. But I already hinted a team who was supposed to be here. I'll find out if they will be able to participate at that edition, because we want to ensure that we can take one very key important thing at each of our breakfast meetings and have quality conversation. So, and then the last one for this year will be on the 27th day of December. December 27th. We are finished eating Christmas lights by then. The time is not good. I thought by 27 we are resting. Sir? Many activities. December. We should bring it to November. Yes. Should we bring it to November? Yes. So, what's the last Saturday in November? Can someone check the last Saturday in November? 29. Is that okay? 29. Okay, 29. And Mrs. Jennifer, you will anchor that for us. November 29. Reverend Joseph, the next breakfast meeting, you are the anchor. August 23rd. Please, sir. So all the details will be coming through you, and now we'll be planning that. And so we'll see how that works. So settle that we already have for this year, and then we'll plan against next year. So we'll be having 3 online breakfast meetings and 1 conference. I think that's fine. We have 1 breakfast meeting before our conference, and then we have 2 extra breakfast meetings after the conference. Thank you very much.
The third one, comments.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
My name is Ilesa.
Thank you, sir.
I want to believe. Thank you. I want to believe, though I am not so sure, that it is not every one of us here that is on the group, so that every one of us can partake in the breakfast meeting. So if that my belief is right, then perhaps we need to take the...
If you are not in the group, just chat me up. Okay, you don't have my number. Okay, that's good, sir. Let's just meet the Secretariat team, Venerable Barnabas and Mrs. Jennifer. Those who are not on the communicators group, you see, the DDMOs already have their group, so DDMOs, you are not part of it. Please, this discussion is not for DDMOs because you already have your workload. This is for communicators and media officers. Thank you. Ma? Yes, if you are both, of course, you have to be there. But what I'm saying is that it's not for DDMOs. So when you are joining that meeting as a communicator, you are joining as a communicator. Thank you, sir. One of the issues that was also raised is training and capacity building. And I think that has been responded to by the Bishop of Ife. Now, there was a debate before this conference, whereby when the team came out, some dioceses were already organizing diocesan conference or training with the team. And Father, the General Secretary, corrected that we allow the main conference to hold, and then the outcome of the conference is what you now use to step down at your diocesan level. So we expect dioceses that want to now organize their own diocesan conference or training after today can now start doing that, scaling down some of what, because there are a lot of people. I was just asking the GS now because quite a lot of people reached out and said they want to come for this conference. And they are not a diocesan official, but they want to sponsor themselves. That if I don't say they should pay 100,000 naira, they are interested in coming. But we don't want to make the conference so open to that level. These are things that you can now step down at your diocesan level to see, to carrying people along who are interested in joining media. Every diocese has their own peculiar challenge. In some places, you have people who are ready to work, who are ready to do things without any tip-off, without payment. They are ready to volunteer. In some areas, if you don't give people transport, you don't see anybody. So what happens in every region differs. And so, as a communicator and the team leaders, and that's why what we are doing more here is more of empowering us to manage our team more, rather than more of practical sessions. So practical sessions can be stepped down at our diocesan level to see that we do quite a lot of things. Yes, sir. Observation. Where's the mic?
Thank you. Separate from Sister Diocese. I said the issue of organizing the diocesan conference probably after this national conference, let me use the word national conference. There are some dioceses who want to have inclusion. There are times that you can't hold certain programs. Now, if for instance, this team is starting, my conference is to come in January, and this team is already declared before January. And from what we're saying now, I can't use this team until May or June now when they use it. Can I just do any other thing that is within my purview or we should carry along that duty, considering our environment. What do we do?
I think you are free to do that, as far as I'm concerned. You are free to do that. What we are saying is, people not doing the conference before the national conference. Do you get it? For instance, you want to do something on Joshua generation, you are taking the team that because Joshua generation is in Hebrew, and the Diocese now want to do something like that before Hebrew, and that's what we are saying. So you can do whatever you want to do before the national conference. That's not that.
So to clear also, because sometimes people have a way of pulling themselves to their corners and strangulating the one at the center. The chances for you to gather your people and do your own, and then when we call for the national one, we are not there, is there. So, but if you have different themes, that's okay. You can do your diocesan conference or seminar or whatever you call it, and then prepare for this. In fact, it will be a good ground for you to mobilize for this one if that works out well.
To add to what, like me, last year,
I stand and prove with this knowledge. Last year, when we had a conference at Meeting in March, I tried to step it down in August. It didn't work. It was till this year, April, I now stepped down the last year. So this one now, I will try and see what I can do before, and when it doesn't work, I will still do it. So that's what I'm trying to say. Stepping this one down must happen before any new one can now come up.
Yes. Thank you very much. Okay. Any other contribution? Any other contribution? We only have less than 30 minutes and we want to take the communique. Are you ready? No. Okay. Hello. Okay. Yes, sir.
Please, I would like us to agree on this. Should the national conferences hold before the national, or the national before we hold our national conferences? Because to do it in all
we just answered that. I don't know if you're following us.
Yes, I follow.
Okay.
I'm stepping down.
What we are saying now is this. Take for example, I don't determine the title or the theme of the conference. We'll submit proposal to the Primate and they approve. So, to make our plans earlier, there's probability that by January, February, the theme for next year conference will be out. What we are saying is that you can't organize your diocesan conference with that theme for the national conference. For instance, now, anybody that has organized a diocesan conference with the theme we are using now, before now, is wrong. You can do any other thing with another theme while you wait for this to step this down later. That's what we are agreeing on, sir. Thank you, sir. Another hand I saw. Okay. Let me see the hand so that I can. 1, 2, 3. Let's take it that way. Brito. 1, 2, and 3 at the back. Okay, 4. There's another hand at the back.
Good day. It's Reverend Samuel Ndukuba from the Hamilton Diocese.
Yes, sir.
We suggested something during the DPMO meeting about time frame for the registration. I hope it will come up in our communique as we're getting it ready.
Okay, like I said, it will not be in the communique because it's not, that is something that requires approval of the head of the church. So, but we are going to raise it with, like I promised yesterday, the General Secretary who will now seek for the approval of the day and the Primate on that. So, and like I said, the bishops are meeting in the next 2 weeks. some of those things can be injected into what they will discuss. Number 2.
Our protocol duly and adequately observed. My name is Reverend Canon Goswin Alika from Diocese. My own is a passionate appeal based on the work before us as Anglican communicators. We are compulsorily journalists because we must do the work of journalists. And I'm suggesting, sir, that because a Anglican communicator should be able to write a simple